What's up, guys? I wanted to give you a few pointers with regards to your crosshair placement, things that you can do to shoot better in the game, and things that you should definitely pay close attention to so that you can improve it deliberately over time. Now, the first thing is making sure that when your crosshair is on an angle, that it respects the speed at which you expect the opponent to peek you. So if you are expecting your opponent to be walking, then you hold your crosshair tight to the angle. If you're expecting your opponent to be wide swinging, then you're going to have your crosshair wider on the angle. Now, this also changes because the relative speed of the player on your screen changes with the distance they are from you. So if they're really close to you, then they're going to be moving faster on your screen. And if they're very far away from you, even if they're doing a full wide swing, if they're at max distance, you won't have to have your crosshair very far away from the angle of engagement to be, covering for that wide swing and making sure that you were able to connect that shot. That's the first thing I wanted to highlight with crosshair placement. The second aiming tip I wanted to show is something that Cryo does very well, which we'll take a look at in just a second, which is sometimes you don't need to actually move your crosshair. Sometimes you can actually aim and kill people with your movement, especially if you're moving into a fight or moving during the fight. You can sometimes just use your movement to secure that kill. Now, the next thing is making sure that your micro adjustments are on point, because when you do actually have to move your mouse, which of course happens all the time, you need to make sure that when your crosshair is on that angle that you're able to connect or adjust, because sometimes it's not going to be on their head. Sometimes you're going to make the mistake in terms of what you expect of their peak, or sometimes another opponent will appear from somewhere else. So you have to account for this by having really good micro adjustments. And this is something that I often preach, that you can train these things with aim trainers as well as in the game, because you can isolate in aim trainers. I like the tasks that have the big walls and really small dots, because you do your big flick and then you have to micro adjust off of the visual. So is my crosshair over the target after my big flick? If yes, I click it, cool, move to next target. If no, micro adjustment, move to next target. So you only have 2 movements max per target, and that's an important skill to master over time, as that technique is used very commonly in this game. Now, the last thing is making sure that you're able to slice the pie well, and this is something I think Cryo does very, very well, and I love watching him do it. It looks always just so methodical, how he clears every angle, all of the off angles as he's moving into a new area. So this is something you should be deliberate with as well, because it's all about that visualization. Every single step that he takes, he is also visualizing that an opponent could be there in that spot, because it's a spot that they would stand in. So he's going to have a faster reaction time as he's clearing every single inch when he's moving out throughout these angles. So there are a few different tips of things that should help you on your way to becoming better at scoring those kills when you're playing your Valorant or Counter-Strike, or really any tactical FPS game.